What's up, guys? It's Chase here, and today I wanted to talk about a topic that's been on my mind for quite some time. As you guys know, in Splatoon 2, I'm a Dualie specialist. I have a good amount of experience with pretty much all the Dualies, and the entire foundation of my YouTube channel is based on that. So, as someone who uses a ton of Dualies and not much else, something I've always thought about was the potential of a sixth Dualie type. Splatoon 2 has 5 different Dualies, but all of them can be considered to be pretty aggressive, even the more ranged ones like Gluga Dualies and Dualie Squelchers. I mean, that makes sense. Dualies were always advertised as an extremely aggressive weapon class. But for Splatoon 3, I feel like Nintendo might try to be a bit more creative and come up with new weapon designs that are really outside the box. I feel like every weapon class has the potential to receive a new variant, but in this video, we're of course only going to be talking about one. Before I get into my theories for a new Dualie type, there's something I'd like you guys to do. I want you to pause the video, give the video a like, and then I want you guys to comment what your hypothetical new Dualie type would be. You guys can be as specific as possible, even going into detail on the kits, accuracy, how many times a Dualie can dodge roll, all that good stuff. I'm really curious on the theories that you guys have, so I'd really appreciate if you guys could do that for me, if you have one. Alright, now that you guys have done that, let's get into my ideas. Okay, so the first idea that I have for a potential new Dualie type in Splatoon 3 is going to sound a bit weird. Well, actually, both of these are going to sound pretty weird, but I think this is the less weird one. I think there's a chance that we could potentially see a Backline Dualie in Splatoon 3. Now yeah, I know, what the heck, Chase? How would that even work? Well, let me tell you. I think this weapon would obviously have the most range of all the Dualies so far. I think a good range for it would be around the Jet Squelcher Bamboozler range, but they could even take it a step further and give it Splat Charger range if they really wanted to. Each shot would do 28 points of damage, making it a 4-shot kill. Its fire rate in spread mode would be mediocre, similar to the Splattershot Pro's fire rate. However, unlike the Splattershot Pro, this thing will actually have pretty good painting power. Since it's a Dualie, it would of course have the ability to dodge roll. Now again, this is going to sound weird, but I think this Dualie is only going to be able to roll once. The animation would be extremely slow, much slower than the rest of the Dualies. But it would roll the greatest distance, which can be a good or bad thing. Sticking to the Dualie norm, dodge rolling and shooting in turret mode will grant you greater accuracy as well as an increased fire rate. I also think that giving this Backline Dualie the same ability that Gluga Dualies have, which is a slight range increase after a roll, would be extremely cool and lead to some very unique spots and maps where you should dodge roll. My idea with the main weapon is that dodge rolling would be something that's very strategic and hard to pull off. Since you would cross a large distance with the dodge roll, positioning yourself properly would be difficult, at least much more than other Dualies. However, if you take the time to learn and experiment with it, you'll be able to strategically roll in certain areas of the maps, rewarding you with extra range. In other words, I don't want dodge rolling to be something that you just spam with this thing, but rather it be something more situational. As for the kit, I think a good special for it would be the Triple Ink Strike. Not really sure why, but this special just seems very backline-y to me. For the sub-weapon, I actually think the Angle Shooter could work well with this thing. Since its damage is on the weaker side, the chip damage from the Angle Shooter could be extremely beneficial. But again, we don't know exactly how much damage the Angle Shooter inflicts, so it's hard to say right now. Plus, the tracking information that the Angle Shooter can provide can be super helpful on a backline weapon. So that's my first idea for a new Dualie type in Splatoon 3. I just want to stress, I didn't think about this like super hard. It's just an idea that's been in the back of my mind for a while and I wanted to share it with you guys. Do I think it will be good? Well, I think it has potential, but I don't really know. What I do know is that a Backline Dualie will be super funny because it goes against the norm of what we would expect out of a Dualie. I'm sure some of you guys hearing this have come up with even better ideas to improve it, so feel free to share your perfected versions of my concept below. Alright, now for my second and final concept. This one is also a bit bizarre, and I'm not sure which of my two ideas would be more likely to happen, but I can definitely see this one being a thing. So this would be a short-ranged, supportive Dualie. It would have more range than the Dapple Dualies, but less range than the Splattershot Jr. It would be right in between them. It would also have 28 damage per shot, making it a weaker weapon. However, where this weapon shines would of course be in the painting department. It would paint super well, around the same as an N-Zap. It would also have an amazing fire rate, rivaling the Arrow Spray. But just like the arrow spray, it would also have awful accuracy in spread mode, making it super difficult to consistently kill. Now, since it is a dually, it of course needs to be able to dodge roll. There can be many concepts for how a supportive dually will handle dodge rolling, but here's what I came up with. The weapon can dodge roll 3 times, but it would roll the shortest distance, even shorter than the dapple dualies. The roll speed and end lag of your dodge rolls would be around the same as the vanilla splat dualies, perhaps maybe a little worse. One big caveat that this dually would have is that while turret mode will increase your accuracy, it will not increase your fire rate, similar to the dually squelchers. I decided this would be a good idea, since its fire rate is already insane. It doesn't need to be improved for turret mode. As for the kit, I think it's safe to say that the ink vac would be incredible on this thing. It would function like other support weapons, hanging close by the other front lines on your team, and the ink vac is a great way to shield your teammates in counterattack. Now for the sub-weapons, it's a bit more up in the air. I think Angle Shooter would also work well on this thing, given its supportive nature, but I also think basic bombs like Splat or Suction would be just as handy. So my idea for this weapon is that it would behave similarly to other short-range support weapons. Hang near the front lines, paint a ton for your teammates, and throw bombs and use the ink vac to aid your teammates in battle. However, if you're mechanically skilled with this thing, dodge rolling would actually give it a chance in fights with the accuracy increase, giving it an edge over something like the Splattershot Jr. So what'd you guys think? Did you like my concepts? Or did you think they were crazy? Again, I didn't think too hard about these ideas. They're very general and I'm just throwing them out there to spark conversation. It's all in good fun, but if you do have any improvements for my concepts, by all means, let me know down below. And again, please don't hesitate to share your own concepts for new dually types. I'm so curious as to what ideas you guys have. Once again, please consider liking and subscribing if you like the video, as there is much more Splatoon content on the way. And with that, I hope you all have a good day. Thank you so much for watching, and I'll see you all next time.